So I recently played this game called Furi on the PlayStation 4, and I think everyone should play it because it's pretty darn good. The game can best be described as a one-on-one sword-based bullet hell, and if that sounds confusing, then fuck, maybe that's not the best way to explain it, I don't know. You play as this escaped prisoner trying to escape some prison. It's a galactic prison where each cell is basically an entire world or something. I don't know, it's not totally clear. The story is vague, but also intriguing and well told. At first, you don't even know why you're in jail, but from the way that your jailers talk to you, there must be a pretty good reason. The more you go through the game, the more it starts to seem like you're probably bad news. And it all leads up to a third act that's captivating in that indie game art house way, while at the same time not sacrificing the more challenge-driven video gamey aspects. The gameplay is a series of boss fights where the player must master the arts of parrying, dodging, shooting, and slashing, usually all at once. Every battle is a unique experience and challenge. I love this formula. I'm not one of those hipsters who acts like boss fights are some passé relic. Boss fights are a very special element that only exists in video games, and I love them. It reminds me of No More Heroes, both in the sense of how the game revolves around the boss fights, and in how the bosses themselves are all really interesting characters whose battles and interactions with the player make up the bulk of the storytelling. Most of what you learn about the player character is learned through the boss character's personalities and attitudes towards you. Just like in No More Heroes or Shadow of the Colossus, over the course of the battles you can't help but grow fond of these characters and feel really bad when you finally deliver that killing blow. Art design-wise, the game is beautiful and oozes style with a badass synth soundtrack and character designs from the Afro Samurai guy. I really love the slow, contemplative walks between boss fights. Many will no doubt dismiss these sections as your now standard slow, unskippable walking cutscenes, but in my opinion the execution here makes them a lot more. As you slowly traverse these empty, beautiful worlds on the way from one boss battle to another, you're not just getting a dose of exposition, you're being given a moment of contemplation. A much needed period of rest and reflection from the intense battles behind and in front of you. Taking in the serene eye candy while listening to those pulsating synth grooves gives you a chance not just to catch your breath and take in the lore, but also to think about the bosses you killed, what they were fighting for, and how they regarded you as you cut them down. Instead of just tossing you from battle to battle, it gives you this quiet time to wonder if you're the bad guy in all this. It gives the game some more weight, lets the battles nestle themselves more firmly in your memory, and also lets you anticipate the next one. There's no reason to let the player roam freely here. It would just be superfluous. You don't need to screw around with some giant empty open world full of tedious side quests and collectibles. Just keep moving forward to the next fight and drink it in, man. Near the end of the game, there's a really interesting payoff to this element that really makes you appreciate why it's designed that way. I'll say no more on the subject because you should experience it for yourself. Now I have one problem with this game, and it's a pretty huge fucking annoyance. And that is the lack of checkpoints in the battles. All of the battles come in phases and can take up to 20 minutes, but if you get your ass kicked in the last phase, it's all the way back to the damn beginning. And that is some serious bullshit. I'm all for challenge, but not for needless annoyances. Obviously, as you get through each phase, the difficulty is gonna ramp up. So when your opponent gets to their final form and stomps a Texas mud hole in your ass before you can even figure out what's happening, it's really fucking frustrating to have to go back through the entire 20-minute ordeal again. Anyways, this is a really great game. I give it an 8 out of 10. The game is $25, which seems a little steep for me considering its short length, but I got it for free off my PlayStation thing, so I don't really give a shit. It's on PlayStation and Steam and probably Xbox too. I don't fucking know. Go check it out. The end.